my name is Miranda and I'm an instructor here at Music in Motion in Virginia Beach, Virginia. The following video will be part 1 of 3 for Foutte exercises. So let's start on the ground. You're going to lay flat on your side. Make sure your hips are stacked one on top of the other. You don't want your hip coming forward and you don't want your hip coming back. You want to be nice and stacked. Next thing, you want to make sure you're not sinking into this left side. You want to make sure you're nice and straight as if you were standing on an invisible floor going vertically up and down. So we're going to be in a first position, pointed, nice and turned out, as straight as possible with our legs, lengthening out of our spine just like we would be if we were standing. And you're going to drag the foot up to a nice passe. Once again, right here, it's going to be very easy to drop that hip back or forward. You want to use those lower abs up and your rotators rotating in opposite directions from your center. Make sure you're not digging in. It's a lot to think about. Make sure you're not digging in with that passe foot. The hardest part is going to be develop a front. Now, if you can't go to a 90 degrees without falling, that is fine. Bring it to a 45. What we're trying to do is we're trying to drill in the proper pathways for our fouettes. So we're nice and lifted. We go over to the front, make sure you're not sinking into this hip, and you're going to want to. That's why you have this hand for support. And you're going to bring it up to 90 degrees. Do not go above 90 because that defeats the purpose. If you have to be below 90, that's also perfectly fine. Lengthen out of the back of your legs, top of the foot, just like you would be if you were in a fouette. And then you're going to leave this knee where it is. If you want to put your hand here to remind yourself, that's fine too. You're going to bring it into passe, and then once it can't fold in anymore, then you would let the knee drop to get to a passe. And do this about either 4 to 8 times, however many you feel you need. Nice and slow, don't do these too quick. And up. You should be feeling a burning in your tushy if you're doing it correctly. And then when you're done, slide all the way down. And you can roll over to the other side. Now for part 2 of our Fouette exercises. So you can start in 5th or in 1st, however is most comfortable. I'll start in 1st for the sake of this video. Make sure you're nice and lifted, not tucking, lifted, and then close the ribs like you had a padlock and you threaded it through, closing it. Make sure you pass through coupe, dragging the leg up to passe, rotating using these lower muscles to lift up, not the hip. You're lifting up on the supporting side. Right now, I want you to either keep your hand on your hip or on your shoulder. So remember, if your hand's on your hip, it needs to stay directly side. It should not swing forward or back, because here we're using these lats. Same thing for your shoulder. You don't want it to become a nice, beautiful chicken wing, not the look we're going for. You want it to be nice and level with your shoulders, and you don't want it to go too much forward or too far back. Nice and natural to the side. So coupe to passe. We're not going to plie, we're just going to bring it to the front. Make sure it's in line with your nose. Don't go above 90. You need to either be in a 45 or a 90, no higher. Bring it out to the side. You can take your hand, do not hold your leg up, just place it there. So when you bring it into passe, your knee doesn't drop until it has to connect. And then you do the same thing again. Your arm can be here or here, to the side, up. After you've done a few sets of that, then you can start with a plie. Plie front. You stay in plie when you get to al second, then you straighten as you bring it to passe. So it's plie front, stay in a deep plie, and up. And then you would repeat at least 4 times, and then other side. Now for part 3 of our Fouette exercises. So now we're basically going to do the 3rd and final step of everything we've been doing without doing the actual turn. So you can start in 1st or in 5th. up to you. I recommend whatever you've done for the bar exercise, you do the same for the center exercise. So I'm going to start in fifth. I'm nice and lifted, turned out, lifted in my front, don't tuck. Lifted all the way through the back of my spine, up out of my neck. Elbows facing side. You can either do full prep, or you can do arms, again, on your shoulders or on your hips. I will do on my hips for now. So, coupe. Make sure you're lifting already on your supporting side and then wrapping down and around on your working side. Same thing. Rotate, 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 rotate. You're going to go to a plie. Make sure your knee's not doing this. If it's doing this wobbly number, that means my tushy is not fully engaged. I'm not using my rotators to support my inner thighs. So, coupe, passe, lifting on my supporting side or wrapping on my working side. Plie. Stay in plie as you run a jambe en seconde, and then you straighten. Once again, plie front, stay plie side, and up. If you're gonna make this more advanced, you can do arms in second or first, or do arms and shoulders, and then you're gonna go up to a releve. So plie, and plie, push up, whoop. See, I wasn't holding my tummy. And plie, plie, push releve, and lower. And you can do that as many times as you want, at least 4 times in a row. Afterwards, I suggest you stretch your quads and your hamstrings, because those should be hurting. Not hurting, but those should be sore. You should definitely feel those. So I hope that helps. These have been 3 exercises to help strengthen your Foutte turns. Thank you.